Hello and welcome to a new video. My name is Amber and I am a mixed media artist currently obsessed with sketchbooks. Now before we get into things, I would just like to welcome you to my channel, or welcome you back to my channel. It's been a few weeks since I've made a video and well, I got really sick in April and that took me out for about a week, and then we had a friend's wedding as well, and between all of that I just didn't do anything really. It's funny, isn't it, how you can be on such a roll and be showing up, doing what you want to do every single week, every single day, and then all of a sudden something will come along and it'll ruin your habits and ruin the roll that you're on and then you just head in the other direction. I just find it really strange. This tends to happen to me quite a lot. I can be 100% into something, like I was with my YouTube channel. I have been consistent with it ever since December, and then all of a sudden, bang, I had this sickness and I just couldn't get back into anything after that. It's like I had the time, but the thought of sitting here and editing a video all of a sudden was the last thing I wanted to do, even after I felt better. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about resistance and procrastination in a moment, but first I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what I'm drawing today. So I'm working in my Stillman Birn Beta series sketchbook. It's the blue one with the soft cover, and I know a lot of people don't really like this for watercolour, but I quite enjoy it. I really like how it really separates the granulating paints, and even if you don't have granulating watercolours, I feel like it almost gives you like a granulating, separating look on your normal watercolours as well, which I know a lot of people might not like, but I do really like it. I just love texture of all kinds, so this paper is pretty ideal for my watercolour preferences. I didn't actually plan to record any of this process. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the footage for the little fairy house there on the left, and I wished I would have recorded it because I really liked how it came out and I loved how the colours all work together. But oh well, I decided to press record on this little snowy house scene halfway through after I'd done the sketch, so at least I got some of it and I can share it with you today. The watercolours I'm using are my Daniel Smith paints that I got in a art haul a few videos back, and the palette is my portable painter. So what I was actually doing here was I thought I'd have a little practice of what it would be like to go out plein air painting with my portable painter and sketchbook, but I did it at home in my studio, and we're now in May, the 1st of May today, and I still haven't gone outside to paint. So I'm trying not to be hard on myself, but it's another thing about resistance. I know I will love it if I just went outside to paint, but I don't know what it is, whether it's a confidence thing or just... I think it's a confidence thing. I've tried to unpack why, but I just need to push myself, go outside, paint. I have some beautiful parks around me, and yeah, I just haven't done it yet, but there's still plenty of time. It's only we're still only in spring, so still lots of time left this year. But anyways, as you can see in my portable painter, I added a few more colours to the back of it. You can see that I made some little makeshift palettes up out of tin foil, and it hurt a little bit to like make my beautiful portable painter a little bit messy with that, but I just felt like I needed a couple more colours in there, and now I feel like I've got the perfect watercolour palette. But I might do like a full sort of swatch in and talk about the colours in this palette in a different video. But today I want to talk a little bit more about the old procrastination and how I beat it this time. So, I have struggled recently to get back into my art and obviously this YouTube channel, but I'm here now, and just uploading this video in a minute is going to feel so fulfilling, and I don't know the word, what I'm looking for, but fulfilling and exciting. We'll use that word. Anyway, the artwork in this video was actually the start of a nearly daily sketchbook practice. So I started doing these quick little sketches. I realised they didn't take me that long at all to do, and I could sit down and create some art very, very quickly in my sketchbook every day. So that's what I started to do. I then experimented with loads of different mediums like coloured pencils, watercolours, gouache, neocolour, oil pastels, and that will all be in future videos to come in the next few weeks and months. So I'm really looking forward to sharing all that with you. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, so this was the start of a nearly daily sketchbook practice, and then I drew all the way through March near enough and all the way through April until I got sick, and then that habit became non-existent. My husband always says something that usually helps me to get out of either a bad habit or to get back into my habits that I really want to do, and that is, you've just got to get the snowball rolling. But what about if you just can't be bothered to start getting the snowball rolling? We have been binging Peaky Blinders, which I never watched before, and I think we watched like all 6 seasons in less than 2 weeks. So that is where most of my time has gone probably. But we'd be sat there on the sofa at night time, and that is the time that I usually like to draw, and he would be playing his games on the PC, and he'd be like, why don't you just go in the studio, Amber, or get your sketchbook and come out here and draw with me, or anything. And I would literally just be sat there like staring into space like, oh, I couldn't think of anything worse than going in and drawing. And then after enough pushing and metaphors being given to me, then I decided, okay, I'll finally go in the studio. And what do you reckon happened? At first, I went in there and I was just sat. I was like, what am I going to draw? I don't know. I did the classic, spending all my time looking at reference photos instead of actually drawing. And then I actually started and put pencil to paper, and I'm now about 4 or 5 days into a daily sketching practice again. I've got a new obsession, which is a CMY, like cyan, magenta and yellow colour palette with pencils, and I'm trying to build a limited colour palette for colour pencils so I can just sort of grab them and go, but I want really vibrant colours, but that'll all be future videos as well. If you want to see more of that now, you can go to my Instagram, and that's where I share a lot of sort of the recent stuff that I'm working on, whereas on the YouTube I have lots of videos that I have recorded over the past few months, and I just sort of share them as I go in order. But yeah, I honestly think that it is so true what he says, and that is just get the snowball started. Even if you have the tiniest little ball and you just maybe sit down and sketch for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then at least you've done something and you've got that ball rolling in the right direction. It can be with anything. It's not just art. It could be maybe you want to go to the gym. The first time is always hardest. Oh, how about plein air sketching? Look at me. See, I still haven't got the snowball rolling there, but I just know as soon as I get outside and start painting, I will love it, and you probably won't be able to stop me. Another thing that I've been procrastinating on is self-portraits, or just portraits in general. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I just haven't done them, and I've heard self-portraits are really good for the soul, so another thing I'm procrastinating on. But I have made a start of sketching, learning the sort of fundamentals, and I've started watching some videos on how to draw portraits, so I'm taking small steps and eventually I will do it. One more thing I'd like to talk about before I leave you today is, well, I'd like to tell you one of my favourite quotes, and that is, inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. And that is a quote by Pablo Picasso, and it's just one of my favourite quotes because it's true, isn't it? I suppose. Well, I think it's true. I never really feel inspired unless I am actually doing the thing. Even if I don't feel inspired while I'm doing it, as long as I am just doing that thing or doing any mundane work in general, like even just cleaning the home. I don't enjoy cleaning. I'm not one of those people who actually enjoys it. But when I start cleaning, then I'm getting like all inspiration and ideas for other things I can clean, and I actually enjoy it. I think we make things so much harder in our heads than they actually are in real life. Or like, for me, I'm always like, oh, I'm not going to do that today because it's going to take so much time, and then how am I going to have time for all these other things that I want to do? But in actual fact, that thing will probably only take me half an hour, and it's all in my head, the time and the problems that I give myself, and that's why I don't do the things. But I'm aware of it now, and hopefully I can put my effort and time into the things that I actually want to change so I can change them. But I suppose what I'm trying to say here from that quote is inspiration does exist, and if you just sit down and actually start creating, then inspiration will find you, and you will get ideas for new projects or new mediums you want to try and all sorts. And I can tell you it's true because I'm going through it all right now. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed it and just enjoyed sitting and having a little chat. I sure have. I always feel better, and I am so glad to be back. I will see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like this one and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Okay, bye.